Hi there everyone! So today I'm going to be bringing you a celiac disease video. It is very different from my usual book videos, but I don't know, I'm in the mood right now to talk about celiac disease because since I'm in college and I've been meeting a few new people and everything, and they've been asking me to like go to the dining halls and everything, I have to say, oh, I'm sorry, I can't eat there. And they're like, what's wrong? And I have to explain to them what celiac disease is and what being gluten-free means. It can get quite repetitive for me since I've been telling this story for nearly 12 years and it comes up quite a lot, and I don't know, I guess I wanted to like further educate people out there because a bunch of people don't even know that eating gluten-free is a actual disease and can actually hurt people for eating it. I actually talked to someone recently who asked me why I make all my own dinners instead of going down to the dining halls, and I told them how I have celiac disease and they go, well, what is that? And I have to tell them that I'm allergic to gluten, and they're like, that's an actual thing? I just thought people did that for like personal preference, like to lose weight or something, and I'm like, no, I get very sick. I don't know, I wanted to educate those out there. So I'm going to be telling y'all all about celiac disease and what being gluten-free actually means. Celiac disease is an autoimmune disorder. When someone like me eats gluten, that food travels all the way down to my intestines like other foods do, but in our intestines we have a thing called villi which lines the inner intestine, and they're basically these giant bumps in your intestines, and there's also enzymes down there to help you break down food and everything. But when someone like me eats that gluten substance, the gluten goes into the intestines where all those bumps are, the villi, and basically shrinks them down to where there is basically no villi to help you digest your food. And it also kills all the enzymes in your intestines that help you digest food. So basically when someone like me eats gluten, it just ruins our intestines to where everything we eat after eating that gluten just goes straight through our system because there is no structure in our intestines. Ooh, that just got bright. And there's no enzymes down there to help break down our food, so we're basically eating stuff and just letting it all out again. No way of digesting it at all. Sorry also for some maybe like TMI terms when it comes to excretory functions. But basically when we eat gluten, we are sick with a stomach ache for a while. I don't know about anyone else, but for me it's at least a week for me to recuperate and get over it and stop sitting on the toilet for 7 days. Like, it takes forever. Like, when someone like me eats gluten, our home is the bathroom for a week. I'm not kidding. Sorry for the TMI, but that's how it is. And so we absolutely dread the idea of eating gluten. We are not necessarily allergic to it. I know for a bunch of people it's kind of different based on your sensitivity to how sensitive your body is to gluten. But for me personally, I do end up getting hives all over my body when I eat gluten, so that's a definite discomfort there. I get very tired, even more than usual. I'm a very tired person overall, but eating the gluten just makes me more fatigued to where I don't want to get out of bed, but I have to go use the bathroom for a week. It's basically the feeling of like, I don't know, your body kind of attacking itself, and it sucks. I don't know about others, but when people ask me what is celiac disease and everything, I have to tell them I'm allergic to gluten because I can't go off on all that tangent and tell them what all that was. I have to put it in very simple terms. I'm allergic to gluten. But we are not allergic to gluten. This is a disease, not an allergy, being specific here. We don't get a EpiPen or anything like that. Our throats do not close up and like we don't die instantly. That's not what it is. And I have actually gotten quite a few comments about that. Am I gonna die if I eat this piece of bread? No, but my butt will explode. People often ask me also, is it curable? Like, is there a cure for it? Is there a medicine for it? La la la. I go, no. I often take like a stomach settler, like chewable pill, like a Gas X or something like that, that helps quiet down my stomach. It does not remove it whatsoever. It's not like a lactate pill that you could take. But I have heard rumors and studies about maybe people developing a cure for infants that have been diagnosed, which I don't know a lot of infants that have been diagnosed with celiac disease. I was diagnosed when I was 7. Like, it took 7 years for them to recognize what I had. And for some people, it's even longer. I know that there are like adults out there who just recently got diagnosed, and you have celiac disease your entire life. You do not acquire it. You are born with this autoimmune disease. It just comes in different levels of sensitivity, so you may not know it. I do get a lot of statements saying how someone thinks that they might have celiac disease because they got a stomachache from eating 3 burgers at like McDonald's, and I go, yeah, your stomach hurts. You ate 3 burgers from McDonald's. What do you expect? That doesn't mean you're gluten-free. So this disease, you do not self-diagnose yourself. No. You have to go to the doctor, get an endoscopy, get blood work, basically see all these doctors. I saw so many doctors to even count. I will actually film my diagnosis story for y'all later, because that is another story in itself. But you have to get all this testing done to know if you have it or not. So you cannot self-diagnose yourself. You have to go in for all this testing. So it kind of annoys me when people are like, I think I have celiac disease because I eat a giant pizza and my stomach hurts. I'm like, it's because you ate a giant pizza. That's why your stomach hurts. Girl! I also wanted to touch a little bit on the subject of gluten for a second here, because there are also people out there who eat a gluten-free diet that don't have celiac disease. And honestly, I don't see a point. I don't see a point as to why someone would eat a gluten-free diet if you don't have celiac disease or gluten sensitivity. Honestly, if I did not have celiac disease, I would be freaking on air. I would be so happy. I would probably be really fat, to be honest with you, because I would eat so much food that I cannot eat right now. Like, you have no idea how much I freaking miss donuts. Like, there are no gluten-free donuts that are good. All of them are horrible. Horrible. Ugh. I don't know why people who don't have celiac disease eat a gluten-free diet. I don't know why you would choose not to eat gluten, because your diet wouldn't change all that much. Like, you wouldn't probably get skinnier. Like, I'm not the skinniest person in the world. I'm not. I'm just gonna say it. And being gluten-free does not make you the skinniest person in the world. It doesn't. Just because you eat gluten is not like a, oh, I'm gonna not eat gluten and I'm gonna lose 20 pounds. That doesn't happen. I'm sorry, it doesn't. You still have certain products out there like rice flour that still build up fat. Like, it's the same thing as wheat in that aspect. I'm sorry. I'm going on a tangent, and I'm sorry. I don't want to be rude or mean. I'm not a rude person. Like, don't torture yourself and not eat gluten. Trust me. I understand. When I was first diagnosed, I was distraught. I was like, I'm never gonna eat a cupcake again. Because back then they didn't have like gluten-free cupcake mixes, but now they do. But like back then I was totally distraught because I was like, I'm not gonna live. All I'm gonna eat is fruits and vegetables the rest of my life. Because I also don't eat meat either, so that maybe puts another hard subject on there. But for these people who eat gluten-free diet that do not have celiac disease, they do not know what gluten even is. If you're gonna eat a gluten-free diet, know what gluten is, for goodness sake. I saw, I believe, a video, like The Late Show or The Tonight Show or something like that a while ago, where the host goes out around California or New York, one of those places, and pulls people aside and asks them if they eat a gluten-free diet and if they're allergic to gluten. And they go, no, I'm not allergic to gluten. I don't have celiac disease, but I do eat a gluten-free diet. That's what most of them said. And the interviewer asked them, well, what's gluten? No one could answer the question. No one could answer the question. Like, come on, guys. Know what you're not eating, at least. But if you all are curious as to what gluten is a type of protein found in certain types of foods, more specifically foods that have a grain-like texture to them or a grass-like effect to them. If you're talking about biology terms. I'm taking a biology class right now, and it's mostly like C3 plants, I want to say. And basically, these proteins are storage proteins, and they help give rise to certain things, certain products when you mix them with others. And so that's why gluten is found in wheat, rye, barley, and malt, which is what I'm all allergic to. And there are sometimes oats, I'm pretty sure. I don't eat anything with the oats in them anyway. So these products are used to make basically breads and bread products. Because we cannot eat gluten, we have to use different products to replace those in making our own products. So the most common one that I love to use and I love in my products is rice flour. Rice flour is an awesome substitute for wheat flour. It has more of a crumbly texture. So basically when you eat anything gluten-free, it just falls apart. That's what it is, but that's its charm in my opinion. I'm just used to it. Like, I don't remember having a piece of bread that didn't fall apart in my mouth. That's normal. And I do have people sometimes ask me to try my gluten-free stuff that I have, or like the lunch that I have, they ask to try maybe like my gluten-free rice chips, or like, I don't know, my gluten-free sandwich. And at first, I always have to tell them, well, watch what you're getting yourself into here. Many people do not like gluten-free products, or many people love gluten-free products. You have two sections here. There is not an in-between. It's either it tastes exactly the same as something with gluten in it, or it is disgusting and tastes absolutely nothing like something with gluten in it. You do not have the in-between where, oh, it kind of tastes like something with gluten, but like not really. No, it's either tastes like gluten or it tastes frickin' horrible. I get those two always, never in between. So I always have to give a fair warning and say, hey, watch out. This isn't a regular thing. This is gluten-free. You may hate it. Yeah. But I honestly, I love all my gluten-free products. Throughout the years, they have made so much more products for people like me to eat, and it is freaking awesome. When I was first diagnosed, there was nothing in the grocery stores for me to eat at all. I had to drive with my mom maybe 45 minutes from where I lived to this little hole-in-the-wall supply store where they sold, microwavable gluten-free dining options, and it was so time consuming, and plus it cost so much money because gluten-free products cost so much more because you can't put them in facilities with other products that have gluten in them, because if you're like me, you cannot have that cross-contamination. And cross-contamination basically is where, say if I was eating a bowl of gluten-free macaroni and cheese, let's just say that, and my friend next to me is eating a regular bowl of mac and cheese that has gluten in it, and say she forgot a spoon, and so she reaches over to my bowl, takes my spoon, eats some of her own, or maybe just stirs it, that kind of thing, and puts it back in my bowl. That bowl I can no longer eat. It is compromised, it is cross-contaminated, no actual noodles got in my bowl, but the gluten products that are on that noodle got on that spoon, and that spoon got in my bowl on my noodles, therefore gluten-free no more. So that is quite a big issue as well with all of these products, is facilities don't want to make secluded little factories that only make gluten-free products. I wish that was a thing, but there are very few facilities that make products like that. So that is frustrating, and it costs quite a lot more money than regular food to buy. So the town that I live in, where my university is quite small and doesn't have that many restaurants in it, and I've actually walked into, with my mom, probably almost every single restaurant in this town. Only one of them has gluten-free options for me that isn't a salad, because I'm not a salad girl. Yes, I don't eat red meat, and yes, I eat a gluten-free diet, but salads aren't my thing. They're bland. I don't know. I don't feel full after eating a salad ever, so I don't like eating them. But if worse comes to worse and I have to eat at a place and they only have salad, I'll suck it up and eat it because I'm frickin' starving, but I'll have to get a giant bowl of frickin' lettuce and be like, hey, this is my dinner. So, yeah, that's what celiac disease is, and that is what being gluten-free means. Honestly, I would be freaking so happy right now if they found a cure for celiac disease. I would eat all the gluten possible in this world. Anyways, if any of you have any questions for me or need some clarification, please just let me know down in the comments below. I would love to answer your questions and hear your thoughts and opinions. And to all the fellow gluten-free people out there, say hi to me. I love to meet new gluten-free people. I don't have a lot of friends that have celiac disease, so I'd love to meet new people that do. Also, I'm going to be making a video about my celiac disease story coming up soon, so look forward to that. I'm actually going to be starting a series on this channel where I am going to be telling y'all all of my really funny, embarrassing, and or really annoying gluten-free stories that have happened to me in my life, and that will be fun to tell y'all about. Anyways, thank y'all so much for watching. Sorry if this video was kind of long. Sorry. Anyways, I will see y'all soon with a new video. Bye. Oh, a fun fact, by the way. In my AP biology class, senior year of high school, one of our final things that we had to do before we graduated for that class was we had to make a music video for any, like, scientific topic that you wanted to choose. And I told my group, hey, I have celiac disease. Let's just do that. So we made an entire music video with my friend singing all of the lyrics we wrote, and the actual video is of still pictures moving based on stick figures that I drew. It is quite embarrassing. I have privated the video on my channel because it's it was good at the time. We got a good grade for it, but I just look back at that video and realize how horrible my editing was. Oh my gosh. Oh.